and welcome to In the Box, our Penguins show here on DK Sports Radio. I'm Dejan Kovacevic, joined here at our Highmark Stadium studio by Chris Bradford. Hi, Bradford.
Hello, DK. How we doing?
We're doing just fine because the Penguins have a few days off here, and we get to, relax a little bit, pretend we have lives and all that other stuff.
I'm getting ready for the stretch run.
Yeah, that's right. You're packing up for Raleigh and Fort Lauderdale this weekend. The Penguins are having a wonderful run of hockey since the start of 2018. And there's an awful lot to like. But we're going to break down in this episode the guys that we think are the team MVPs, plural. And I think we're on the same page here, at least with who the two finalists would be, right?
Certainly, yeah. It's got to be Evgeny Malkin and Phil Kessel.
Yeah, or in this case, because we're going to have to figure out one. But first, let's start with Gino, because he's clearly been the hottest hand of late. He is second in the NHL in scoring. He's got 70 points. He has been just absolutely ablaze, especially on home ice, as he was telling me the other night. He actually went out of his way to point that out. Like, I really like playing here. I have run out of superlatives for all the things that he's done well lately.
Well, I don't know even where to begin, but yeah, I think over the last month or so he has really put himself into the Hart Trophy conversation, which obviously coincides with the Penguins winning. I haven't seen him play this dominant, and well, he's been healthy. I think we can't overlook that. I mean, he's been healthy. This is the first time he's been consistently healthy. He's playing at a level I don't think I've seen him play in several years. I'm going way back now.
Yeah, I think we're going to the 50-goal season.
Yeah, has to. And he's really got a chance to not only win the Hart Trophy, he could win the Rocket Richard Trophy for the goal-scoring lead. He's two goals.
He's right there. Yeah,
two goals off the lead. I mean, the way he's been scoring, and it's not just been highlight reel stuff. I mean, going back now a few games, I think it was against the Minnesota Wild, he had like two goals just bank in accidentally. It just seems like when you're going good, you're going good.
Well, when he's going, he's going. I mean, meaning that his feet are moving. He doesn't do skate stops. It's something he and I spoke about the other night after the Toronto game, where he just glides and makes wide turns. And a lot of coaches, especially at younger levels, will frown on that. They think it's kind of a lazy thing, right?
Yeah, I saw him doing that the other night in Columbus, and he did the exact thing you were talking about. He's in his defensive zone. He kind of just circles around. He looked back towards the puck, and you're taught not to do that.
Oh, yeah, but you're not Evgeny Malkin when you're not taught to do that. And he has earned a lot of leverage. And this is to Mike Sullivan's credit, I think. Sullivan respects that Malkin is a different kind of player, that he's a high-risk player at times with the puck. The conversations that Sullivan and his staff have had with Gino over the years have focused on, we respect what it is that you do. We respect your style of play. We want you to respect, to a certain extent, that we want you to be responsible with your decisions, especially with the puck. That's their biggest deal with him. But the skating stuff, man, when they see him going, they just, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
They don't care, because they know that one way or another, that long loop, that wide turn, he made one the other night against Toronto where he went skating right around the entire Maple Leafs franchise in order to set up what ended up being a nice play between Brian Rust and Carl Hagelin. Let him skate.
Yeah, we talk a lot about Brian Rust and Carl Hagelin's speed, and rightfully so. Malkin's not that far behind him. For a man his size, he's a very fast skater. And kind of going back to what you were saying, I think you asked Mike Sullivan after the Columbus game about the puck support.
Yep.
That exact play I was thinking about against the Blue Jackets. Malkin circles back, and he kind of read the play perfectly, and I guess it was Brian Rust made a little chip pass to him, and off they're going to a quick transition game that the Penguins are really good at, and it's just the vintage Malkin moment.
So my argument for Malkin as team MVP will center on the notion that he's been the better of the two superstars, meaning between Malkin and Crosby. I've seen from Gino absolute dominance at times. Sid's had his run of points, but he hasn't been the guy that other teams are going, when they see him. And that's what you're seeing from opponents for the past 6 weeks now, where they see Malkin and they go, that's just a force of nature. There's nothing we can do about that.
That's exactly the word I was looking for, was dominance. I mean, that's what I've seen from Malkin over the last few weeks. Sid has obviously had a good season. He's right in the scoring race with Kessel and Malkin, trailing Nikita Kucherov by just a few points. I don't rule it out. There's still, 20 more games to play in the regular season.
Sid could make us look stupid for not having him in this conversation in this episode in like about a week, right?
Yeah, I mean, and he's done that before. And but speaking right now, this week, I would have to say Evgeny Malkin, between the two, has been far more dominant.
Between him and Crosby. Yeah, however, we're going to be looking at a different candidate for MVP when we come back after this message.
It's been 50 years since the Summer of Love, but if you're not performing as well as you'd like, check out NEDforless.com. I'm Eric Cushy of Curtis Pharmacy. Don't pay premium prices for the little blue pill. So Denafil, the same active ingredient as in Viagra, costs 80% less. NEDforless.com. All we need is your physician's name. We do the rest. Free shipping, too. NEDforless.com. Curtis Pharmacy, Western PA's Better Way Pharmacy. CurtisPharmacy.com.
It's time to cash in on non-stop sports action with MyBookie.ag. They have in-game live betting on nearly every sporting event, plus MyBookie.ag will match your deposit with a bonus up to 100%. With decades of expertise and no-hassle payouts, you'll experience the greatest customer service in the business, guaranteed. Use promo code DKRadio to activate your bonus of up to 100%. Call 844-900-BETS. Or visit mybookie.ag to open an account. Sign up today.
Miller Lite is the original light beer, and we'll always brew it to have more taste, with only 96 calories and 3.2 carbs. Because we believe that if you compromise on taste, you can taste the compromise. Miller Lite. Hold true.
Great beer, great responsibility. 2018 Miller Brewing Company, Milwaukee, Wisconsin. Average analysis, 12 fluid ounces. Less than 1 gram protein, 0 grams fat.
What I want from my public accounting firm is big ideas.
But I don't want to lose the personal attention.
My company needs global capabilities.
From a firm with local ownership.
And I want to work with industry experts.
Who take the time to understand my unique challenges. And that's what sets Schneider Downs apart. Expertise for the most complex business issues. With the service you need every day. To learn how our big thinking with a personal focus can help your company, visit schneiderdowns.com.
If you're one of the thousands of Western Pennsylvanians who love to get outdoors, then you need to check out this amazing new website, stepoutside.org. Hi, I'm Dejan Kovacevic of DK Sports Radio. I'm born and raised in Pittsburgh. I know about the outdoor life that's available to all of us in Western Pennsylvania. Learn where, when, and how you can go camping, hiking, hunting, take part in power sports, shooting sports, water sports, in your local community, across our region, across the country at stepoutside.org.
Welcome back to In the Box. I'm Dejan Kovacevic, joined here at our Highmark Stadium studio by Chris Bradford, and we're trying to pick a team MVP for the Penguins between two people not named Sidney Crosby, and that's just not going to end well for us, is it?
Probably not. That's why there's always a recency bias. There's always a danger of making predictions in February.
There is. However, the show is being done in February, so that's when we're gonna give it a shot here. We went through reasons why Evgeny Malkin could and should be considered the team's MVP. We're now going to turn our attention to Phil Kessel, and he's just been there from day one, Chris. That's the part I can't get past here.
Yeah, and it's kind of remarkable that we are in February still talking about Phil Kessel as the Penguins MVP. Obviously we've seen strong stretches from him, but he's honestly put up a MVP-type season, not just for the Penguins, but also league-wide. What you mentioned is consistency. I mean, Evgeny Malkin wasn't all that in November and December, and even as the Penguins were struggling, Phil Kessel was kind of the one guy you could count on for the Penguins.
I've seen a lot of games of late, Chris, where I have felt that Phil Kessel was the best player on the rink for either side when he didn't even produce a point.
He's had a few of those moments. He's had some small plays that you just think, not many players can make that. His passing ability,
Unreal.
I just can't believe it.
You mentioned in Columbus the other night to me, you just said something like, look at his vision.
Yeah.
It's easy for people like me and Chris. We're up in the press box 7 miles overhead. We're looking down at everything. It's ants playing a video game. But when you're down there and you're surrounded by all these moving bodies and hyperspeed, he's seeing everything that's going on in the rink.
It really is. I mean, I was talking with Dejan Phaneuf about that. It was after Phaneuf got traded, so he's with the Kings at this point. And obviously he's good friends with Phil Kessel. And
from their days in Toronto.
Yeah, and obviously both guys kind of got a bad reputation from those days, and I think that's kind of carried with them. But I was talking about Phil's playmaking ability, and he said, hey, it's probably as good as I've ever seen it, but it's always been underrated. I think you've really seen it for yourselves here the last few years, what Kessel can do. And I think more so this year than even the previous 2 years, you're seeing what Phil Kessel's all about. I mean, there was a reason why he was considered a prodigy and a top pick years ago.
Legitimately.
And, this guy's just a great all-around hockey player.
Well, here's another argument in favor of Phil as team MVP. The Penguins' strongest facet as a group, as a collective, has been their power play. Nobody could argue that. I mean, it's been unreal.
Historically good.
Yeah, right. Yeah, and you did a full article on that, researching it, and it's right up there with the best they've ever had. Phil Kessel has 33 power play points. That's number 1 in the NHL by a pretty decent margin. It is funny to note that Sidney Crosby is second with 30 and Evgeny Malkin is third with 29. However, it's not like Phil is siphoning off of those guys because the quarterbacking is being done from the left wall by Phil Kessel, through Phil Kessel.
Yeah, it's kind of an inverted look on the power play with the puck going through Phil Kessel. I don't know what that says about the other guys on the team, but I think a lot more about Phil Kessel and his ability to just create.
I think it has to. I mean, remember, we're not so far removed from Dan Bilesma feeling the need to split up Evgeny Malkin and Sidney Crosby and agonizing how can they coexist on the same power play. When's the last time anybody's even brought that up, Chris?
Not in a long time.
No.
Not since the Dan Bilesma era.
No. I mean, it's come up a little bit, I think, with Sullivan because, do you have Sid on the half wall where he likes to be? Do you have him down low? Now, with Phil, it doesn't matter because he's the glue. He's the funnel.
Good point. It's not like just, Phil Kessel's just passing the puck. He's not like Craig Janney going back.
No.
But he's still got that shot, and he can certainly put that thing on goal.
And he's still – you just talk about rare traits in a hockey player. When someone starts thinking about passing, and remember Phil was guilty of that early last season when he went with Gino, and he was just looking around for 71 and just feeding him. Now, when Phil sees a chance to create a shot, not just a chance to shoot, but a chance to create a shot, to take an extra stride, he's still making that the priority. That's how he has 24 goals in 66 games. That's how he still has the good shooting percentage because he is still thinking about the shot.
Yeah, and kind of going with the even strength. I mean, look at the guys he's playing with where he's kind of has to carry that line. So he's, more of the...
That's a great point, actually. The fact that Sullivan trusts him, he says, you know what, go on a line with Riley, Sheehan, and whoever,
Jake Gensel,
and just do whatever you do, and he's still getting it done.
Yeah, and it's become, kind of the strength of the Penguins, at least I think over the last month, or maybe not month, but last few weeks anyways, kind of the balancing of the lines, and it's allowed Sullivan to be able to get two offensive guys and one strong defensive conscience, as he likes to call it. But the fact that you can put Phil Kessel on a third line, how many guys are in the top 10 in scoring and are on a third line?
Yeah, it's amazing. Yeah, that part alone is incredible about the season that he's had. Pick one.
One MVP?
One MVP. There can't be two.
It is most valuable player, so I am going to go with Phil Kessel because of just for the consistency factor. He's been there from day one.
I'm going to go with Kessel as well for the same reasons, but also for the fact that he has been the engineer on the power play. I think that for me that really has to stand out. That said, again, you can feel free to dig this podcast up in a couple of months when Sidney Crosby goes like a house on fire, and you're going to say,
and he's going to do it.
Those two guys did that whole show. Didn't even include Sid.
Yeah, the number 3 MVP.
That's exactly how it's going to work. Thanks for listening. Thanks also to our sponsor and our friends at Curtis Pharmacy and Eric Cushy. I'm Dejan Kovacevic, and you're listening to DK Sports Radio.
There's a better way to heat up your love life without paying premium prices for the little blue pill. NEDforless.com. we can save you up to 80%. Eric Cushy here for Curtis Pharmacy, Western PA's Better Way Pharmacy. Sildenafil is the same active ingredient in Viagra that produces the same big results for 80% less. All we need is your physician's name. We do the rest with free shipping. NEDforless.com. Western PA's Better Way, Curtis Pharmacy, curtispharmacy.com.
In Pittsburgh, we bleed black and gold and love our city. Born in Pittsburgh and now celebrating 130 years in business, Henny Jewelers is proud to be your premier jewelry store. Whether it's choosing that watch you've always wanted or you're searching for the ring that was made for her, trust Henny Jewelers. Visit our store on Walnut Street in Shadyside to see our extensive inventory of designer engagement rings, watches, and one-of-a-kind jewelry. For more, go to hennyjewelers.com and follow on social.
Embarrassed by that stained carpet in your office? Tired of looking at your dull, dirty floor? My Floor Needs is here to fix that. With years of experience and 24/7 service, My Floor Needs offers stripping and waxing, carpet, tile, grout, and concrete cleaning, as well as polishing and buffing services. Call 888-67-MY-FLOOR or email info@myfloorneeds.com for a free estimate and get your floors looking like new again. Whatever your floor needs, call 888-67-MY-FLOOR.
Does your company ever miss its sales goals or struggle getting new business?
Is it tough to hire or to give reps the right tools?
Hi, I'm Dan, and I started Engaged Prospect right here in Pittsburgh to help companies like yours.
And I'm Sam. We're helping companies hit sales goals and grow their businesses.
Think of us as your inside sales team.
Our clients are experts in their fields. We're experts in inside sales.
Give us a call today at 412-715-5151.
Or visit us online at engagedprospect.com/DK.